In these examples, we're going to add integers with different signs using the chip model. So we have two problems here. The first one is 5 plus -3. So let's see what this looks like on that website. We're going to start with 5 positive chips and combine that with 3 negative chips. So remember, we had an example in Unit 1 when we had a bunch of chips but they weren't all the same sign. We would group them together where one positive and one negative will cancel each other out. So remember, if you gain $1 then lose $1, that's like nothing happened at all. So we can do this on the site by dragging them over each other, and a positive and negative will cancel. And notice we're left with 2 positive chips. So now let's look at this and see how we'd write this here. So we have 5 positive chips as the first addend. 3 negative chips is the second addend. So now I'm going to put the combined sum, which means I'm going to line these up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3 negative chips. Now remember what we did. I'm going to use the highlighter. This pair canceled, so any corresponding pairs of positive and negatives will cancel. And we do that till we're left with chips all of one sign. And now we're left with 2 positive chips, and that will be our simplified result. So our math equation is 5 plus -3 equals +2, or just 2. Now let's look at the next one. We have a -5 and we're adding that to a +3. So now we'll drag 5 negative chips and 3 positive chips to represent the problem. So these are our 2 addends, and we want to combine this amount. So now we have chips of different colors, so to simplify this, we're going to cancel out pairs of negative and positive chips until we're left with only one color chip or one sign chip. And in this case, we have 2 negative chips left over. Let's go back and represent this. So we started with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 negative chips, 1, 2, 3 positive chips. Now let's write the combined sum. So we're taking these and putting them together. And then we're going to cancel out any plus-minus pairs. So here's 1 pair cancels, 2, and 3. And our simplified sum is just the 2 negative chips. So our math equation will be -5 plus 3 gives a result of -2. Okay. So let's just take a moment to look at these problems and see what happened and what they have in common. So notice here we had the absolute value of the chips were the same, but we had different signs. So we had 5 and 3 and 5 and 3. One case the 5 was positive, one case the 5 was negative. In both cases, the smaller amount of chips canceled. So since, even though this is negative, we're thinking of absolute value, we had less of the second amount of chips, in this case 3. So all of those would cancel when we went to simplify our results, and we would just be left with whatever's left over. So notice, this is equivalent to subtracting 3 from 5. You have the 5 positive chips, you take the 3 away, and you're left with 2 positive chips. Here we did the same thing. We had 5 negative chips. We're going to take away 3 of them that are canceled out by the 3 positive chips, and we're left with 2 negative chips. And this idea will be true in general.